Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with Bear and Rich, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is her ability to understand and respond to her obedience commands, the correction and the motivation that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Rich is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded in his right hand. That leaves the left hand free to give the correction, and the only correction that we use here at school is a little tug and release on her training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. You will be introduced to that and taught how to use that properly during your follow-up training session. Now, she's sitting very nicely at Rich's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is most important to our city dwellers, and that is heel. The command is Bear heel, and it's proper leash walking. Now, what that means to you is that Bear has a job to do when you're walking, and that is to maintain pace with you, not forging ahead, not dragging you down the street, but walking like a lady by your side with her shoulders even with your left leg. And each time that you stop, she's been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for her next command. So if you stop to cross traffic or talk to a neighbor, she should be sitting nicely at your left and waiting for you to tell her what to do. And you hear Rich talking to her, coaxing her. You can tell her good girl as you're heeling along to keep her focused. And then when you stop, those sits should be automatic without being told. Now, the next exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is the sit stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and it's a stationary exercise, so we're not going to use her name. It's just the one-word command to stay. The long sit stay, when you're practicing, you're going to start out with about 30 seconds because she's young, and as you practice, you're going to work up to about 3 minutes. When Rich returns back to her, he quickly walks all the way around her, returning back to heel position, and her job is to remain seated until he gets all the way back and gives her another command, and they take off heeling again. She's a really nice girl. She's really smart. She's learned a lot in a short period of time. And I'm sure you're looking forward to getting her back. Stay. Rich is going to leave her in another sit stay. And this time, instead of returning back to her like he did before, we're going to demonstrate the come on command. You do use her name, you use a happy voice, and you say, Bear, come. And she comes right in, and her job is to come and sit in front of you. And that is good for when you're greeting her, that she knows to sit to get praise. And that eliminates her putting her front feet up on you to get that attention. She knows that to get the praise, she needs to sit. Nice sit. Stay. Stay. You turn to face the dog, and you back up to give her room to come into you, and you give her the come command. Bear, come. You want her to come all the way in. Rich coaxed her, talked to her, and then she returns back to heel position and back sitting. There you go, good girl. Now, the next commands that we're going to be setting up for are your down commands, and these are nice commands to have in the vocabulary that you share with your dog, and those are your down commands, and that means laying down. So what you're going to do is have your dog at your left in a seated position. You're going to take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word command to down. And stay. Stay. Now, the long down stay, she might be able to hold a little bit longer than the 30 seconds. You're going to start out about 45 seconds to 1 minute. And that one you're going to work all the way up to 5 minutes. And I encourage you to practice indoors as well as outdoors. When Rich returns back to her, he's going to walk all the way around her, just as he did on the sit stay, returning all the way back around to heel. And if you've noticed, everything starts and stops at that heel position. So Rich is going to heel her out of that. And we're going to demonstrate that for you again. And any questions that you have about her behavior or how to continue this at home, you'll be able to be sitting down with Amanda, and she's going to tell you everything to do to make this the best transition possible.
Down.
There's your down, stay. Very nicely done. And we're always here for you, so please feel free to call with questions, email.
Bear, come.
Now Bear's going to come to him out of that command.
No, sit.
Now she didn't sit right away, so you heard Rich say no, sit, and that's how you correct her. She's not doing something that you know that she knows how to do, then you use your little correction, which is that little tug and let go that we talked about in the beginning of the video, and it's not hurting her. She's not yiping or crying or acting intimidated. It just is a reminder, like, hey, young lady, this is how we do this. Because she'll test mom, for sure. Now this time we're going to demonstrate our down from a distance. So with her seated, you're going to leave her in a sit stay. You're going to turn to face her. This time you're going to use your right hand to give the command, and she goes down from a distance. And you're going to be able to lengthen out the distance, and again, the time that she's able to hold these commands. Because all of these commands are designed to help focus, self-control, and maturity, and she's done a great job with all of them. She's a really nice little girl. We like her a lot. We want to be here for you after graduation, so that if you need us, please feel free to call us. And thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.